Hey there guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a message encryption Windows Forms application in C Sharp. So first we're going to fire up Visual Studio and start a new project. Alright, this is going to be under templates and Visual C Sharp, and it's going to be a Windows Forms application. So I'm going to go and change the name here to message encryption, although feel free to, name it however you see fit. Hit OK and wait for that to build. Alright, so now we've got our form. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go down to text and change it to display message encryption app. Just something a little bit more appropriate. And then we're going to head on down to the size of our form. And we're going to give ourselves a little bit more room to work on the layout. So I'm going to set the values here to 445 by 496. Okay, so now that's done. We just need to head on over to Toolbox now and grab the first of our controls. So we're going to get a rich text box, or we're actually going to get two of those. And these are going to act as our user input and output fields. So the first one here, we're going to go down and change the name to rich text box, or RTB message, and that's going to be our input field where the user puts their message to be encrypted. I'm going to change the size here to 422 by 162, and the location coordinates, we're going to change those to 0 by 59. Okay, and same again for the second rich text box. That's going to be 422 again by 162 for the size, and this time the location coordinates 0 by 256. Okay, and then we head on back up to the name, and this time we're going to call this RTB encryption. Alright, so let's head back on over to the toolbox. We need a couple of controls now, so we're going to grab a pair of buttons for our form. So we've done that. Let's grab the first one here, and we're going to set the text to display encrypt message for this one. And we also just need to change the name that we'll use to refer to this control later on when we're writing our code. I'm going to name it BTN encrypt. And the size this time, we're going to change the button to 167 by 23. And the location is going to be 0 by 227. And pretty much same again for the second button, 167 by default value 23, and the location this time 0 by 424. Okay, and we just head on up and change the name here. I'm going to call this BTN Decipher. And text, I'm going to have this display decipher message. Okay, so now our form layout, our controls are pretty much almost done. We just need a couple more things, so head back on over to Toolbox and grab a label. And while we're in there, a numeric up-down box. Okay, so we just grab those and drag them to the top of our form. And the reason for these controls will become apparent as we go through the video, unless you're able to guess before then. For the label, we're going to set the text to set encryption key. So you may have something of an inkling as to what these are for. We don't need to change any of the sizes or location coordinates on these controls. The numeric up down box, and we want to change the name to NUD encryption key. Nice little rhyme there. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, before I forget, we want to change the minimum value that can be set in our numeric up down box to 1. And now let's just start that, see how our form is looking. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a few controls on our form. We can insert a message, input text, and change the values in our numeric up down box. Let me just type this out. I'll click here. Okay, so we hit encrypt or decipher, but nothing happens. So we need to go back to form1.cs, double click on encrypt, and then we need to tell our form what we expect it to do. Oh, let's get that back. So yeah, we can ignore the rest of the code that's already here. We just need to focus on this bit that's been generated down the bottom for our button encrypt. So we're going to first of all tell it that in the encryption rich text box, we want there to be no text in that box on the application start, as default. And then we're going to write a for each, and this is basically going to be, we're going to take a char value c in our message that we input into RTB message, and we basically then want to take an object which we're going to call encrypted, and that's going to equal the characters of our message from RTB message box, and we're going to then increment the characters in the message by the value of our encryption key, the one that the user set in the numeric up down box. So I don't know if that makes much sense to you guys, but basically what it means is that, for example, if you input H and the encryption key is 1, H would then become I. And then the last line here, we're just going to tell it RTB encryption.text is going to be equal to the encrypted object as a string data type. So it's going to output the message in its codified form. So let's run this again so you guys can have a look and see how this works. So we'll set the encryption key to 1 or leave it there, and just type in a message here quickly. Okay, so let's hit encrypt, and as you can see, we now have a codified or encrypted message, and which to the untrained eye would be complete gibberish. If you got this through your email, you'd probably think it was all bugging out and just spitting out random emails. So I'm just going to copy this and put it in the word processor. So at the moment we can encrypt a message, but if we take this away and hit decipher, nothing's happening again. So we need to go back to form1.cs, the design page, and this time we double click on the decipher button, and it will add again another control, and we just have to copy the for each code that we wrote before, except this time we're going to reverse it. So instead of it being each character in the message rich text box, it's now going to be in the encryption box, and the output is going to be in the message box. And also, instead of incrementing the characters by the value in the numeric up down box, we're now going to be subtracting those same values. Okay, so let's just take this, the message that our friend has supposedly sent us in this hypothetical scenario, and we know the encryption key is 5. He's told us the day before. So press decipher, and there we go. We've got a perfectly legible message here that we can read and understand. So that's pretty much all there is to it. So there you go. That's your own message encryption app. It's quite simple. You could probably get this running up on yours and a buddy's computer. The reason for the encryption key, make it harder to decipher, or for anybody trying to intercept your message to decode what's going on, because you've got a wider range of ciphers, let's call them, to choose from. But yeah, that's it. If you like what you saw, then please subscribe and watch this space for more tutorials. Thanks guys, see you later.